This is the ROG Ally, a handheld gaming PC that runs full-on Windows 11 and is packing some significantly better specs than the Steam Deck. Inside of the box, we have the Ally itself, your typical paperwork, a 65-watt charger, which is actually pretty fast, and then this little stand, which at first I thought was packaging material since it's basically cardboard. But here is the device itself. And my first impression is it feels really well built. Now, up front and center, the Ally has a 7-inch 1080p screen. This is a jump up from the Steam Deck's 800p screen, and even better, it also has double the refresh rate at up to 120 Hz. On the left side, we have a thumbstick complete with RGB lighting, a D-pad, a view button, and this command center button. And then on the right side, we have the other thumbstick, which is set lower than on the Steam Deck to make it easier to reach, ABXY buttons, menu button, and ASUS's Armory Crate button. And then up top, we actually have a good amount of I/O. There's a headphone jack, an SD slot, ROG's XG interface where you can connect an eGPU if you want even more power, and the USB-C port for both charging and for connecting this thing to a monitor. Next to the volume rocker, you have a power button that also doubles as a fingerprint scanner, which is something that we didn't see on the Steam Deck. Of course, you have your shoulder buttons on each side, and then finally, on the back, we just have a pair of macro buttons that you can customize to different in-game actions, along with, of course, ROG's styling for the two fans and air vents. Okay, so the first big story with the Ally is, unlike the Steam Deck, this thing is running Windows 11, which in my mind immediately comes with two major benefits. Number one, you can play any PC game, so you're not just limited to Steam's platform, but you can also play games from Xbox Game Pass, Epic, and more. And number two, because it's running native Windows, you could technically use this as your main desktop computer, not just for gaming, but also for your school or work computer, since it has all the mainstream software that you would need. And then when you want to game, you can do so anytime and anywhere, which is pretty dope. And then the second big story with the Ally, which kind of complements the first, is the hardware on here is a step up compared to the Steam Decks. The Ryzen Z1 Extreme is up to 50% faster, so games not only play smoother with higher frame rates, but again, the argument of using this as a desktop is also stronger, since while 720p is okay on a 7-inch screen, you definitely need at least 1080 if you're trying to use this on a bigger monitor. But of course, the primary use case here is for handheld gaming. And the Ally is pretty great for that. The games I've played so far have run really smoothly, the display is sharp and bright, and the stereo speakers are actually louder and fuller than I thought they would be. I've really been enjoying this thing, but that's not to say that it's perfect. Windows 11 just wasn't built for a gamepad and touchscreen controls, so navigating the UI could definitely be clunky at times and not the most user-friendly. And the biggest drawback right now is easily battery life, since while it has the same capacity as the Steam Deck's battery, it just doesn't seem to last nearly as long. ASUS officially claims up to 2 hours for gaming and almost 7 hours if you're using it for things like Netflix, but there are different modes that you can toggle through, which trades off performance for battery life depending on what's more important for you in that moment. And ASUS has been rolling out updates pretty quickly on this, so hopefully it'll continue to get better. Overall though, I really like it. The idea of having this much power in a handheld, the fact that it can run any PC game, and how you can also use it as a Windows desktop computer if you want, makes it a really compelling offer at $700.